Thanks, Michael. I'm going to make it very brief, and my role here is to really lay out why we're here today. You know, the mayor and the AQMD board member had laid out the importance of EV, but what does this workshop represent, and what are we trying to get out of today's efforts, being a very initial effort, and the reality that we need to work more for the long term, but we have a lot of immediate needs to address and come together collectively to try to solve. You know, several years ago when we were talking about electric vehicles, when I was in the mayor's office, it was always a question, you know, when you're in bureaucracy, especially a large bureaucracy, it was always a question of, you know, which comes first? Do you do the infrastructure or do you do the vehicles? What's going to be the first mover kind of strategy that we need to take? And then the more that I the more I kind of thought about it, and the more that we talked about it, it was quite clear that we can move together, that we can do the infrastructure, and that we can do the manufacturing of the vehicles, can work together. But the other reality was the fact that, and I'm sorry for my public friends and folks in bureaucracy, is sometimes we just move a little bit too slow. We sometimes have this ability that we're not necessarily as nimble as we think we are or need to be. And I'm hopeful that today's conversation is really to have that conversation, to have that dialogue about what will it take for us to come together from different sectors, whether or not it's the manufacturers, the academics, the scientists, the utilities and the cities, and all the folks who have a role in making electric vehicles part of our lives in Southern California. And you know, electric vehicles is quite an important effort, and just what it actually represents so many things to so many people. When you talk to folks in communities that are suffering from pollution, electric vehicles is an opportunity to help reduce that pollution and to help that child who's suffering from asthma reduce their asthma episodes. For a person who is out of a job, it represents a potential for job creation in manufacturing. When you talk about companies who are looking to have some sort of relationship with electric vehicle manufacturers, it means an opportunity to do clean and new technologies. So it means so many things to so many different people. And I'm really hopeful that today we'll begin that conversation, which I think conversations are already occurring, about how do we come together and work more collaboratively to make all of the different sectors more nimble in how we move an electric vehicle policy and make sure that the electric vehicles are on the roads. And you know, it's interesting, just as an analogy, the way we look at air pollution is we look at it as regulating an issue that has no boundaries. We almost have to think about electric vehicles in that same context as we do with air quality. And the infrastructure that is required needs to be seen in this kind of no boundary way, because that, from a regional perspective, that is what's going to take, is for us to work together as a region, which we sometimes don't often do. But this is an opportunity, and EVs represent that collaborative approach. So I'm excited, and I'm hoping that you all are also excited that these conversations are now occurring, and that I look forward to this workshop today, and I'm hopeful that it's going to be a very productive one and one of many. So thank you for the organizers, and I would like to introduce my colleague David Libatique, who will be laying out the day for you. Thank you very much.